Hare Krishna, dear devotees, and Pranam, Shri Prabhupada. Thank you, Bhakti Mataji. Hari Bol to Vishwanath Prabhu, Pawan Prabhu, Bhakti Mataji for leading the chanting this morning. Let's continue with our Mangalacharan prayers and then reading. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminate Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatadeshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. Okay, anybody would like to sing today? A prayer of the week.
I can try, Prabhu.
Hari Bol to Shri Mataji. Yes, please, Mataji, go ahead.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Doya Koro More Toma Bina Ke Doyalu Jagat Samsari Patita Pavana Hetu Tava Avatara Musama Patita Prabhu Napai Beyara Ha Prabhu Nityananda Premananda Sukhi Kripa Balokana Koro Ami Boro Dukhi Doya Koro Sitapati Advaita Gosaya Tava Kripa Bale Paya Chaitanya Nitaya Gaura Premamaya Tanu Pandita Gadadhar Srinivasa Haridasa Doyara Sagar Haha Swarupa Sanatana Rupa Raghunatha Pata Juga Shri Jiva Ha Prabhu Lokanatha Doya Koro Shri Acharya Prabhu Srinivasa Ramachandra Sangamage Narottama Dasa Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Very nice. Thank you, Shri Mataji. Shri Gaurapad Pratna ki jai. Shri Narottam Das Thakur ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Okay, we can read. I think there are a couple of purports Prabhupada has for this nice bhajan. So we can read the purport today. Anybody would like to read?
What was the translation, Prabhu? Hare Krishna.
We will read the purport, Prabhu. I'm
Okay.
sharing the screen. The first purport.
Okay, fine. Let me read from the screen.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is song composed by Narottam Das Thakur. He prays to Lord Chaitanya, my dear Lord, please be merciful to me, because who can be more merciful than your Lordship within these three worlds? Actually, this is a fact. Not only Narottama Das Thakur, but Rupa Goswami also prayed to Lord Chaitanya in this way. At this time of first meeting of Lord Chaitanya and Rupa Goswami at Prayaga, Allahabad, Srila Rupa Goswami said, my dear Lord, you are the most munificent of all incarnations, because you are distributing love of Krishna consciousness. When Krishna was personally present, he simply asked us to surrender, but he did not distribute himself so easily. He made conditions. First of all, you surrender. But this incarnation, Lord Chaitanya, although Krishna himself makes no such condition, he simply distributes. Take love of Krishna. Therefore, Lord Chaitanya is approved as the most munificent incarnation. Narottama Das Thakur says, please be merciful to me. You are so magnanimous because you have seen the fallen souls of this age and you are very much compassionate to them. But you should know also that I am the most fallen. No one is more greatly fallen than me. Patita Pavana Hetu Tava Avatara. Your incarnation is just to reclaim the conditions, fallen souls. But I assure you that you will not find a greater fallen soul than me. Therefore, my claim is first. Then he prays to Lord Nityananda. He says, ha ha ha, Prabhu, Nityananda Premananda Sukhi. My dear Lord Nityananda, you are always joyful in spiritual bliss. Since you always appear very happy, I have come to you because I am most unhappy. If you kindly put your glance over me, I may also become happy. Then he prays to Advaita Prabhu. Doyakara Sitopatu Advaita Gosai. Advaita Prabhu's wife name was Sita. Therefore, he is sometimes addressed as Sitapati. Thus, Narottama Das Thakur prays, my dear Advaita Prabhu, husband of Sita, you are so kind. Please be kind to me. If you are kind to me naturally, Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda will also be kind to me. Actually, Advaita Prabhu invited Lord Chaitanya to come down. When Advaita Prabhu saw that the fallen souls were all engaged simply in sense gratificatory processes, not understand Krishna consciousness, he felt very much compassionate toward the fallen souls. He also felt himself incapable of claiming them all. He therefore prayed to Lord Krishna, please come yourself. Without your personal presence, it is not possible to deliver these fallen souls. Thus, by his invitation, Lord Chaitanya appeared. Naturally, Narottama Das Thakur prays to Advaita Prabhu. If you will be kind to me, naturally, Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda also be kind to me. Then he prays to the Goswamis. Ha 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 Swarupa, ha ha Swarup, Sanatana Rupa Raghunatha. Swarupa refers to Swarupa Damodara, the personal secretary of Lord Chaitanya. He was always with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and immediately arranged for whatever Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted. Two personal attendants, Swarupa Damodara and Govinda, were always constantly with the Lord Chaitanya. Therefore, Narottama Das Thakur also praised Swarupa Damodara and then to the 6 Goswami, the next disciples of Lord Chaitanya. Sri Rupa Goswami, Sri Sanatana Goswami, Sri Bhatta Raghunatha Goswami, Sri Gopala Bhatta Goswami, Sri Jiva Goswami, and Sri Raghunatha Dasa Goswami. So these 6 Goswamis were directly instructed by Lord Chaitanya to spread the movement of Krishna consciousness. Narottama Das Thakur also prays for their mercy. After the 6 Goswami, the next Acharya was Srinivasa Acharya. Actually, Narottama Das Thakur was in the disciplic succession after Srinivasa Acharya and was almost his contemporary. And Narottama Das' personal friend was Ramachandra Chakravarti. Therefore, he prays, I always desire the company of Ramachandra. He desires a devotee's company. The whole process is that we should always pray for the mercy of the superior acharyas and keep company with pure devotee. Then it will be easier for us to advance in Krishna consciousness. Receive the mercy, Lord Chaitanya and Lord Krishna. This is the sum and substance of this song sung by Narottama Das Thakur. Hare Krishna.
Now, thank you, Nalin Prabhu. Anything you liked from this prayer? Anything that you want to share?
Yeah, actually, that's a good thing. I can say. Uh, yeah, Krishna was telling like surrender to me, right? So though we think it is a condition, but he was telling the truth, like, okay, if you surrender to me, I will take care of everything. He was promising in the Gita. But here Chaitanya um, saying that, in the form of Chaitanya, like there's no condition. Better come through the, like he's more lovable and compassionate toward the fallen souls. That's why he took another incarnation as a Lord Chaitanya. So that's what is orally summarized, explained by Narottama Das Thakur. And the six Goswamis also, the disciple of Sri Chaitanya, they also spread the Krishna consciousness. So the Krishna consciousness movement is so important to develop our love and compassionate and bring those fallen souls from this earthly world, right? Because our senses always deviate from the our mind deviate from the our Krishna consciousness because of those senses gratifications, right? So that is how to bring it to the track, to keep fix our mind, in the Krishna consciousness. That's what I translated or summarized. Understood from it.
Yes, thank you. Very nice. Very nice. Yes, Prabhu, that is absolutely right. And yeah, if you see, like you were saying, Krishna asked to surrender, Sarvadharman Parityajya, Mamikam Sharanam Vraja, right? He said, surrender everything, abandon all varieties of religion, just surrender unto me, and I will take care of take care of you, I'll relieve you from all the sins. Mahaprabhu is actually coming and freely distributing love. So it is like, we say in Hindi, कि हमें कुछ छोड़ना नहीं है, हमें सिर्फ जोड़ना है, right? So we don't have to give up anything. We just have to add Krishna into our life. We have to add Chaitanya Mahaprabhu into our life. And how can we add Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Just by chanting. So when we just add the process of chanting in our life, then all the other vices, all the anarthas that we have, lust, anger, greed, pride, envy, all of these, Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, all of these will actually run away. So we don't have to give up anything. That's why even we say for people who are even like these hippies, they were all eating. Some of them in the Western world, many of them, were eating meat and doing all kinds of all the four regulative principles were being broken right before Srila Prabhupada came. But what did Prabhupada give them? He just gave them this medicine of chanting of Hare Krishna. I said chanting was the only asset. So he just asked them to chant, and then you see everything or everything else actually surrendered, right? So Krishna told to surrender. Mahaprabhu actually didn't even say to surrender. Mahaprabhu said, just take this. You just take chanting, and then what happened? Everything else automatically got surrendered, right? So Prabhupada didn't force anything, right? Out of love, all his disciples, all those young devotees who joined Srila Prabhupada gave up everything naturally, right? It was not by force, it was by love. And that is the love that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was giving. So when we take that love, then everything else automatically goes away. All the bad things goes away. Yeah, so that is the essence. Very nice. Okay, let's continue with our reading of Prabhupada Leela. It says today we saw Prabhupada got the land in Mayapur and also in Bombay almost. And then in Vrindavan also he's encouraging his devotees to acquire land. So, and then Mayapur, he got the news from Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj that the land is yours, Srila Prabhupada. So he was very happy that they had finally got land in Mayapur after a lot of struggle. And also we saw about the chapter, I think the last one was no one listens to a poor man, right? So like that, just like again going back to this prayer that we just sang, the land is yours. We can also figuratively mean that we all have got this land of our heart, basically, where we have our soul and the super soul residing, right? So we have this land, and when we take up this process of chanting Hare Krishna, then we can grow the crop, we can grow the creeper of devotional service. The Bhakti Lata will sprout, and we have to water it. And we water it by the process of Shravanam and Kirtanam, by constantly chanting and hearing. So when we hear Krishna Katha, like Prabhupada was saying yesterday, Shravan, Shranuta, Srinvata hi Pratha Krishna Punya Shavana Kirtanas, right? So that's the famous opening verse in Srimad Bhagavatam. That when we constantly hear the glories, the pastimes, the name, of the Lord, then our hearts get purified slowly but steadily. Gradually, all the anarthas go away. So that land that we have, the land of our heart, has to become fertile, and then the seed will sprout by the regular chanting and remembrance of the Lord, by watering the seed of bhakti. So that land is ours. The land was Prabhupada, and the Prabhupada is telling all of us that we all have this land of heart in our heart to grow this creeper of bhakti. And then we also saw that no one listens to poor man, right? But if we become liberated, then nobody listens to poor man like a PM, but everybody listens to the free man who is liberated, right? So that's why we do on a wordplay. I'm just saying FM, like we chant our morning prayers, and we chant our morning, when we do our morning japa, it is like a FM channel, right? And like in India, we used to have AM and FM channels, right? So FM, so ours is FM 108.16. So we chant 108 beats on 16 rounds. So this is our FM channel every morning. And by coming to this channel, we'll be able to, everybody listens to this channel because Prabhupada and Mahaprabhu have given us this channel. So this is the channel that we should tune into, and everybody listens to this, but not to the PM, the poor man. Everybody listens to the free man, liberated man. Okay, let's continue with chapter 39 today. I will build a wonderful temple for you. Srila Prabhupada wanted a big Mayapur festival and Pandal program on February 29th, 1972 to celebrate Gaur Purnima, saying that it would please Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur and Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur very much. In the festival, the banner read, "Welcome Prabhupada." Prabhupada means one who has taken shelter at the lotus feet of Sri Krishna, or one in whose feet all Prabhus take shelter. Srila Prabhupada lived so simply in Mayapur, and he wanted a very big marble temple where Radha Krishna worship could be conducted. And he wanted to build a big Mayapur city. Srila Prabhupada lived in a straw house and sat on a bamboo platform with some mats on the floor. But he was happier here than anywhere else. Srila Prabhupada made His Holiness Jayapataka Swami and His Holiness Bhavananda Swami as co-directors of Mayapur. The 5-day Gaur Purnima festival included 24-hour Kirtan procession around the holy dham of Mayapur, Navdeep Dham. They were distributing khichdi prasadam, and Srila Prabhupada said, "Continue this forever." On Gaur Purnima day, there was cornerstone laying ceremony. A pit was made, and all auspicious things were kept inside. Then Srila Prabhupada got down the pit and placed a ruby-eyed Anantashesha inside. Srila Prabhupada said, "A disciple can measure his own advancement by how free he was from envy. In the transcendental world, there is transcendental competition to serve and please the Lord. Enviousness belongs to the material world and has no place in the spiritual world." This I just reminded me. There is on Gaur Purnima is coming up, of course, next week, and the corner laying ceremony. This picture is there in the Mayapur calendar. We get Mayapur calendar just like we get New Vrindavan calendar. And every morning I take a look at this picture because in February, right now, this calendar, Prabhupada is placing Anantashesha in the pit and laying the cornerstone laying ceremony of Mayapur temple. So it's good coincidence. Yeah, I'm just looking at this picture for the last many days, all through February, and now this is what it means. Okay. According to Chaitanya Charitamrita, if a person is a preacher spreading the chanting of Hare Krishna, he must be empowered by God. According to Chaitanya Charitamrita, if a person is a preacher spreading the chanting of Hare Krishna, he must be empowered by God. So that is Shakti Avesha Avatar. So they are empowered by the Lord. Srila Prabhupada is empowered by the Lord to spread this chanting. Next, Srila Prabhupada went to Vrindavan, where they were to get the land from Mr. S. Finally, in March of 1972, groundbreaking ceremony was done where hundreds took prasadam, and Srila Prabhupada placed the Anantashesha deity inside the pit at Ramanreti. Finally, Radha Ras Vihari arrived. Krishna was white marble with flute and Radharani's hand extended benediction. Since there was an issue with the land, Srila Prabhupada installed Radha Rasbihari deity immediately and prayed to them, "My dear sir, please remain here. I shall build a temple. I shall build a beautiful temple for you." Srila Prabhupada thought, once the deity established their position, nothing can be done. Finally, the Pandal program would end with Srila Prabhupada distributing prasadam. Brahmananda Maharaj had to return to Nairobi for preaching, and Madhudisha Swami was going to Australia with Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada made Giriraj Swami Maharaj as the in charge for Bombay project and temple construction. Srila Prabhupada knew a lot of obstacles would come in the way of building the temple, and this was just the beginning. Srila Prabhupada quoted Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, who said that difficulties encountered in the course of devotional service is the greatest happiness. Next destination, Australia via Singapore. Very bold. Radha Rasbihari deities from Juhu. Since there was an issue with the land, Srila Prabhupada installed Radha Rasbihari deity immediately and prayed to them, "My dear sir, please remain here. I shall build a beautiful temple for you." In that wonderful prayer that we sing, the personal lovable deities of the Acharyas, we always sing, Srila Prabhupada Pranadhana He. Srila Prabhupada Pranadhana He, Jaya Radha, Rasbihari Radha, Rasbihari Shri Radhe. Hari Bol. Chapter 40, Around the World, but absorbed in Bombay. Srila Prabhupada reached Sydney, his second visit after last year, wherein he had installed Radha Gopinath deities. The deities taken care nicely, devotees ready for initiation, TV, radio appearances, and program at temple. This visit was success. Srila Prabhupada then went to Melbourne, to Hong Kong, to Japan, and gave sannyas to Sudama Prabhu in Tokyo. His heart was in Mumbai temple. He wrote to Giriraj Maharaj to model the temple after Jaipur's Radha Govindaji temple. Srila Prabhupada then went to Honolulu, preached there, walked on the beach, said it was not as good as Juhu Beach. Srila Prabhupada got a letter from Mandakini Mataji that she was going to Russia to marry a devotee and preach in Russia. Srila Prabhupada was pleased. Srila Prabhupada said, "Preach when you are young. Then in old age can chant Hare Krishna and settle down in Vrindavan. But if preaching not done in young age, the mind would be agitated even in old age." Srila Prabhupada then went to Los Angeles and gave sannyas to 4 GBC members, including Satswarupa Maharaj. Srila Prabhupada wanted all GBCs to travel and preach, and hence he gave sannyas to them. Local temple president could manage temple affairs and treasury. GBC should chant 16 rounds, manage their zones, but at the same time travel and preach, Srila Prabhupada said. Ananga Manjari Mataji showed the computer and telex message device to Srila Prabhupada and sent a message to New York, and they replied immediately saying they were waiting for Srila Prabhupada's arrival in 3 days. Srila Prabhupada smiled and said it was nice. Srila Prabhupada encouraged book distribution as the primary preaching activity and also a source of income for temple. Srila Prabhupada wanted everyone to read his books and not just distribute. Srila Prabhupada then went to Los Angeles, New York, London, Paris, Amsterdam, Edinburgh, Glasgow. For the hippie class, Srila Prabhupada said, "Don't go into too much philosophy, just chant Hare Krishna Kirtan." Srila Prabhupada celebrated Janmashtami and his appearance day at New Vrindavan with thousands of devotees, lecturing daily on Pandal program, but his heart was in Mumbai, and he regularly corresponded with Giriraj Maharaj to secure 5 lakhs through loan to get the sale deed. He requested Sumati Morarji to become trustee to ensure that Mr. N does not cheat them. Srila Prabhupada told everyone to follow the example of Vishnu Janaswami, who had taken a bus to carry on preaching. Srila Prabhupada then went to Dallas, where he installed the large marble deities of Radha and Krishna. Named them Radha Kalachandji Ki Jai, the deity of Dallas. 12th September 1972, Kalachandji, he said, meant black moon. Srila Prabhupada then went to Hawaii and sent many of his leading disciples to Bombay to sort out the issue created by Mr. N and Mr. D, and he himself noted down a couple of points and sent to Giriraj Maharaj and told that the payment should not be made directly to Mr. N but through bank so that there is no cheating potential by Mr. N. Krishna. Yes, these are the beautiful deities of Dallas. Shri Shri Radha Kalachandji Ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada then went to Dallas, where he installed the large marble deities of Radha and Krishna, named them Radha Kala Chandji, the deity of Dallas, 12 September 1972. Kala Chandji, he said, meant black moon. Kala is black, Chand is moon. So black moon is so beautiful there. Every time we go to Dallas, and yes, it's all the wonderful Shringar and darshan of the deities in all the three times, in the morning Mangalarti, then Shringararti, and then of course in the night the Shayanarti. They look, you see, they're kind of, this is the full morning Shringar darshan, maybe this is kind of the night Shayan darshan and Mangalarti darshan. But yeah, the deities are so beautiful. And like we said the other day when Mataji was here, these deities were personally, that was her service. When she was in Jaipur, they were going to the stores and purchasing and ordering these deities and finally shipping them to the US. So the deities in Dallas, in Detroit, Toronto, Chicago, I think many other temples, she personally was instrumental in getting these deities for the ISKCON temples here from India. So yeah. The other thing that we read today about how Prabhupada again, like traveling in all the cities all around the world, but his mind was absorbed in Mumbai with Shri Radha Ras Bihari. And that's why, like we said, we were singing that prayer. So Prabhupada's, they're very dear. Radha Ras Bihari is very dear to his heart. Prabhupada Pranadana He, Jai Radha Ras Bihari. Radha Ras Bihari, Shri Radhe. So we see how he was absorbed and making sure that the deities, Radha Ras Bihari deities, had a beautiful temple in Mumbai. So again, all glories to Srila Prabhupada's disciples, led by His Holiness Giriraj Swami Maharaj and many, many others who have helped set up the temple in Mumbai, Juhu, because that was very dear to Prabhupada's heart. And even though he was going around, but he had not forgotten the deities there. Also, some important instructions, like Prabhupada said here, everyone should read the books, not just distribute. Yesterday also we saw the similar instruction. Prabhupada was saying that book distribution is very important. It was a vital source of income for the temple. But book distribution, again, is not just physically distributing the books, but also reading the books is also a form of book distribution, because we all the Hari Katha that we hear, from Acharyas, from the Vaishnavas, that is also book distribution, where they are, because we are even so lazy these days to even open the book, or if we have the book, like, at least I can say for myself, like in the past, we would just start a book, read few pages, 10, 20 pages, and then it will die. Like it will just be very hard to pick up and read again. Right? But just by having this cadence, that this schedule that we have to read, we are able to read the whole books of Srila Prabhupada. So when these devotees, like the other day when Adi-Gadadhar Prabhu was here, he was reading from Chaitanya Bhagavat, right? So literally going through each and every verse. So when will we be able to read Chaitanya Bhagavat otherwise? No, right? It's not possible. And we have it on our to-do list, but when that day will come, I don't know, right? So when somebody like that comes and literally reading through each and every verse, and we are singing along, that is book distribution. That is even a higher form of book distribution, because otherwise the books are there in our homes, but we hardly open the books and read that, just wrapped as it is, right? Like, so he said, that's a joke. We should not keep the books as it is, but we should actually take them and read them. So just by reading these books, that pleases Srila Prabhupada so much, and that is also book distribution. Because there's so much in Srila Prabhupada's books, and like yesterday I shared a picture of a quote from my Guru Maharaj in the book reading WhatsApp group, that he's saying the same thing, right? As Grihasthas, we are all householders. So we have to balance a lot of things in our lives. But he was emphasizing that the morning program is so, so critical that we should perform morning. Like we should have our Mangal Aarti, we should chant our rounds in the morning, and we should even read. If not 45 minutes, we cannot do the full Bhagavatam class. We should at least read for 15 minutes before we go to our work, whatever chores we have to do. If we go to our school, office, whatever, we have to at least spend time, 15 minutes. By doing that consistently, he was saying that all our anarthas, it will sharpen our intelligence, and all our anarthas will be cut away slowly but steadily. So it's very, very important, again, instruction by Srila Prabhupada and by his disciples, that we should read Srila Prabhupada's books sincerely and steadily. Okay, anything else? Anybody would like to share? Anything that touched your heart? Anything that you're personally implementing in your lives from Srila Prabhupada's instructions? So far, we have read Prabhupada Lilamrit and rereading now, reviewing these instructions by Srila Prabhupada. Any other personal realizations, reflections, anybody would like to share? Yes. Everybody's on mute. No other thoughts? I'm going to call out Seema Mataji today. Let's see if she's available. Yes, Seema Mataji, you there?
Uji, thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I was actually thinking that I think it must have been years and years of classes that you've sat in, that you're able to summarize everything that we read so well. It's amazing that you kind of absorb in it and are able to summarize it really well. And I think every day I hear like, okay, read Prabhupada books, and I was just thinking, okay, today is the day. Maybe I'll just start like putting it on my phone and reading it. So thank you for calling me out. I appreciate it. And maybe I'll just read a book today.
Yeah, now we have Prabhupada books, audiobooks also. So many disciples have made audiobooks of Srila Prabhupada's, all the books. So it's just easy. We can listen while going to work, or while doing our chores. It's wonderful. And of course, nectar is there now. Like so much of Harikatha is available. Like we say, Prabhupada and his glories, the Lord and his glories can never be exhausted. There's so much to read, so much to hear. Even if we have millions and millions of ears, still, we will not be able to hear everything. But we are glad that at least Brahmaji has given us 2 ears, so we should hear at least with our ears. And just by hearing, Shranvatam Svakatha Krishna, Punya Shravana Kirtana, Hridayanta Sabhadrani, Vidhanvati Suhrisatam. Yesterday also, in the evening reading also, same thing, Prabhupada was, we were reading teachings of Queen Kunti, and she was saying the same thing, that, we have to, if we hear Krishna, your glories, then, we'll become purified. So, yeah, just, that's very, very important. That's why Prahlad Maharaj has made, again, we say the same thing, Prahlad Maharaj has given that Shravanam is the very, very first limb of Navada Bhakti. We have to hear through our ears, and that simple process will kind of start the roller coaster. So everything else will come after that, if we just develop the taste to hear and chant the holy names. Thank you, Mataji. I know that, and most of us here on the call, again, all of us are Grihasthas, and like yourself and Anandini Gopika Mataji, Adiguru Prabhu, Vishwanath Prabhu, and our doctors. It is so hard to manage your schedule, right? But still you make time to join these calls, and you perform so much of services when we go to Sadhu Sangha and even otherwise. So all of this, that's so sincere. That's sincerity from your standpoint, that sthana sita, whatever position Lord has placed you in, still you find time when possible to join the calls and hear and also share your reflections. So The same thing with you and with others also here. Shriya Mataji, Aarti Mataji, they are not even in the city, Cincinnati, but still they join. And Aarti Mataji has little kids. Yesterday evening we were talking, and with even small kids, it's very hard in the night. They'll sleep late or they'll wake up in the middle of the night, and still despite all of those obstacles, she wakes up in the morning and she chants and she joins the call regularly. Shriya Mataji being in Pittsburgh, still she joins, right? So it's very inspiring. Many devotees, Ritesh Prabhu, Sangeeta Mataji, Prabhakar Prabhu, all of them, they recently started joining for the last year or so, but they're not even initiated, but still make it a point to join regularly as their schedule allows. Like I said, so again, the Lord only sees that bhav, the Lord only sees that we have that inclination, right? Because that's all we have, the desire. We should have that desire, and then all the mercies will come from the Lord. So thank you everybody all for your kind association every morning for this Japa call, where we are able to connect to our Guru Parampara, follow the instructions that Srila Prabhupada has told us. Despite being grihasthas, we grihasthas actually are, that's why I was saying that point that Guru Maharaj was also saying that grihasthas in Russia are more sincere than the brahmacharis. Right? The brahmacharis, that is their duty to wake up early, but sometimes maybe they may be struggling. So that's why Maharaj was saying that. But grihasthas, we have so many responsibilities, right? That one pastime comes in mind where Krishna tells Narad Muni once that Narada Muni comes, there was Narad Muni actually asks that why are you so merciful, to these grihasthas? So then Krishna says, okay, he gives him one bowl and bowl of ghee, small bowl of ghee, and he tells, okay, so you take this bowl of ghee and you go around this whole place, like a temple or place where Krishna is, and says, go around and make parikrama and come and make sure that not even a drop spills. So then Narada is very, very careful. He says, if a drop spills, then that will be the end of your life. So anyway, so he's just kind of joking, but he's very serious also. So Narada Muni very carefully takes that bowl and then he's walking slowly, step by step, making sure that not even a drop spills. And then when he comes back, then Krishna asks him, so are you chanting the holy name? He says, what are you doing? Why are you asking me to chant the holy name? I was so concentrating on this bowl, like I wanted to make sure not even a drop spills, otherwise that will be the end of my life. So I was so much absorbed in that I just forgot everything else. I was not, otherwise Narada Muni is always chanting the glory of the holy name, right? He's always saying Narayan, Narayan, but even he forgot to chant the holy name that time. So then Krishna tells him, see, now you understand that why I love householders so much, because even though they have to balance so many things in their life, still they are waking up, they are chanting my holy names. So whereas if I tell you to do this one thing and you forgot the chanting of the holy name, so that is why the Lord is so merciful on all of us, that despite everything that we have to balance, we are able to do this. So thank you so much. Okay. वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनन्तकोटि वैष्णववृन्द की जय। जगद्गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद लीलामृत की जय। निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे। हरि हरि बोल।
हरि बोल। हरे कृष्ण।
Bol, Hare Krishna.
Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.